Brothers and sisters in faith and in humanity, what's up? Peace be upon all those who genuinely seek peace and work for it. My name is MuslimGamerTV, also known as Rock, and I start this stream like anything else I would start in life, in the name of God and with thanks to Him. This stream is of my gameplay of Diablo 4 on my Necromancer. As you can see, level 83. Oh, sorry, 86. So yeah, toward the end of mid-game, I think it starts, being like properly end game by maybe level 90. Of course, I mean technically it should be 100 the maximum, but I think 90 might loosely count as end game. And because Diablo 4 is for mature audiences, this stream is also for mature audiences only. And if any of us come on this stream would not please God, then it may be partially on me. Still, there are things that I might not have been aware of or over which I have no control, like what some game developers may include in their games and what other players may do or say in multiplayer and cooperative games, and what the stream audience may say in chat. All of this is out of my control. Unless the chat messages are too many, within a few seconds I eventually respond to almost all polite chat messages. Still, I am sometimes distracted by the game itself, so I ask you to please be patient if I don't respond immediately. My usual disclaimer is that I am Muslim, but I do not represent Islam as a belief system or Muslims in general. I only represent myself. And unless clearly stated, or I'm talking about verifiable facts, historical or scientific, my opinions are my own, and especially my mistakes are my own. I currently do not constantly talk or provide commentary while streaming, so you may sometimes get hours of silent gaming from me, but occasionally on my streams, inspired by something that happens in-game or by your messages, I talk about various subjects like religion, science, and health, and of course games and game design. I try to make my talks informative or at least beneficial somehow. If you choose to watch my streaming or archived streams, then I hope I've prepared you very clearly for what you may expect. If you like the sound of all this, I would appreciate a follow from you on Twitch and a subscription here on my YouTube channel, which means I am streaming this on YouTube, just for the record, because sometimes I stream on Twitch and I archive my streams permanently on my YouTube channel. There's also a Patreon link in the About tab of my Twitch channel and in the description of most of my videos and streams, if you would like to support this stream. I look forward to chatting with some of you on stream sometime. Thank you. Now let's jump to the game. Just a quick test. I'm going to send a message here in chat just because I want to. Uh, I sort of I'm using a sort of a script that sends me an audio alert if someone sends a message on chat. Of course, you know, famous and popular. I was just talking about this in the previous stream toward the end. You know, famous popular streamers who get like several messages per minute. They would never need something like this, but you know, because I'm just starting after a long break, and of course my YouTube channel currently doesn't have like many subscribers. Um, I don't get that many, you know, chat messages, so I'm not used to looking at chat every now and then, because most of the time I look and there are no messages, so you don't like this sort of thing doesn't like quite help you build the habit of looking. So I need like I can use at least an audio alert, especially because sometimes I'm also very distracted by the game. I'm not like one of those people who find it easy to concentrate on multiple tasks simultaneously. Of course, I mean, scientifically speaking, there is no such thing as multitasking. At least like from a biological or scientific perspective, the reality is that the human brain switches very quickly between several tasks. Like a human brain like the consciousness can only focus on one thing at a time. But multitasking technically is basically about dividing your attention every moment, like I mean every minute or however like often you need to switch. But the point is that multitasking is about switching you know, one's attention from one thing to the other very quickly. So there's no such thing as simultaneously, you know, thinking about two things. You know, humans are incapable of this biologically. But of course, the ability to switch quickly from one activity to the other, or from one sort of focus of attention to another, varies from human to human, from individual to individual. My ability to switch between two sort of focuses is not as high as some others. I'm on like the lower end of this ability among humans. At least I know this about myself. So if I focus on something, I focus deeply. And then if I sort of have to, you know, pull my focus away from it, it's difficult for me. And then, you know, getting back to what I was doing is not as easy. Whereas there are other people, of course, who find it easier. You know, they can have a sort of a focus on this thing, and then they switch to another, and they can focus on that other thing quickly, and then back to what they were doing, and so on. But even those individuals, ultimately, they cannot get into deep focus. You know, no human can get into deep focus with this method. Like, it doesn't work like that. Yes, when I say it's, you know, some people find it easy to do this, I don't mean that they find it easy to deeply focus on two things, you know, almost at the same time. You can't, like, no human can do this. And this is why, like, you know, if you're like studying or handling something very, very complex, you need long time. You need like a long time to keep focusing on that thing and thinking deeply about it for a long time, for an extended period of time, until you can start to really dig into this thing and grasp it. And this is how it works. But my point is that there are people who are able to sort of give a moderate amount of focus, or a superficial amount of focus, to multiple activities, and then they switch this superficial or moderate level of focus, they switch it between multiple things, like easier than others. So that's the thing. But I'm not one of those people. Because of that, you know, sometimes I'm distracted by the game. Because of this, you know, I focus too deeply on the game, and then someone sends something on chat, and I don't look, you know, I forget to look at chat, so you know, I miss it. And you know, of course, some people might think I'm ignoring them or so, but I never ignore anyone, you know, saying something polite, of course. So yeah, anyway, you know, to get back to what I was saying, you know, that invited me to talk about this, you know, phenomenon of switching attention and how it works for humans, from at least a scientific perspective or an empirical perspective. I'm using this script that's supposed to send me an alert, I guess, and I think it might, you know, even be heard on stream if someone sends a message in chat. So I'm just gonna test it. I'm gonna send a message in chat now and test it and see if I hear something. Yeah, failed miserably. Absolutely nothing. Ah, well. I tried, guys. At least I tried. Oh, I was also checking something. Like I opened this control panel on OBS, the software I'm using to stream, and it says it's like giving me a yellow warning, and it's saying the stream's current bit rate is, I mean, which is like 5K, 5,000 kilobits per second, is lower than the recommended bit rate, and they're saying we recommend. I mean, that's quite high, man. We recommend using a stream bitrate of 3,500 kilobits per second. Dude, I don't have that. I don't have that currently. At least I don't have that sort of upload stream. I don't have that upload capacity. 3,000. That's, I think. I don't know. I think that's like, yeah, 13 megabit per second upload, and I don't have that like a sort of upload rate, so I can't. I mean, I could go up to 8 maybe or something, but sometimes the connection gets lousy and then frames are dropped and stuff. So my safe, you know, quote unquote, my safe range of upload is 5,000 kilobits per second. Definitely not nowhere near 13,500. Like I'd have to have an upload rate of about 17 megabit per second, and then the safe, you know, the safe upload would be 13,500. And I'm guessing this is because I'm streaming a 2K resolution, 1440, yeah, 1440p or 2K resolution. So maybe that's why they're recommending this insane upload rate, 13.5 megabit. But anyway, yeah, I'll just get back to it, and it should be fine. I hope, at least. not a good start at all. I haven't, like, none of my characters have died in a very long time. I think it's been like, I don't know, several days, maybe. You know, I mean, I'm playing every day the game, and I think, yeah, my characters haven't died in like maybe 3 days or something. And of course, hardcore people, they never die. Well, almost. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. Actually, I know now. Now I know. What happened is that I used, yeah, I gotta learn from this. I used Blood Mist, which is my only, isn't it? It's my only immune slash unstoppable. Yeah, of course, this is Tendrils, doesn't do it. Decrepify wouldn't do it. Blood Mist, this is the one, and this is the ultimate. Yeah, doesn't do it. Yeah, of course. My only escape, my only unstoppable. Yeah, it says here, even at this area here at the bottom, immune characters cannot be damaged and are unstoppable with all control impairing effects removed and prevented. So my only you know, like immune slash unstoppable ability is this one, and I used it under the dome to release these. No, I don't have any stored. Basically, this vampiric power here, a cursed touch. It says, you can see here, the second paragraph says vampiric curses stored souls deal 200% increased damage. So whenever I kill enemies that are afflicted with vampiric curse, and I have 44% chance to inflict a vampiric curse on enemies, and then these enemies have 15% chance to spread it to other enemies. And now the vampiric curse when I kill someone afflicted by this vampiric curse, their soul is stored, and I think, yeah, it shows up here, like the number of souls shows down here, and then I can release those souls. I can't remember the maximum number of souls, but it doesn't matter anyway. The more souls you store up to a certain maximum, I think maybe it was like 8 souls. I don't know. I'll try to look here and check. But in any case, the number of souls here are released with certain skills, and one of usually the most popular like skill that releases them is the defensive skills. On some other skills release those souls, and those souls, when they're released, they go insane. They just do this insane, amazing damage. I love that skill because of that. I love that, you know, I mean, vampiric power because of this, and I take it mainly for this. But yeah, but the drawback is that if I need it, if I get attacked or crowd controlled and I need it, now I didn't have it. So I didn't have it when I needed it, and that's why I got killed. Hold on, guys. Yeah, back. So now that I was thinking about all this, I wanna store some souls and then look at the other skills that release them, because this is gonna, I don't know if it's gonna happen more often or it's gonna annoy me. Look at this! I one-shot the thing. Pretty much. So now I one-shot him, and like a while ago they just Destroyed me. Yeah. So this is the one. Use it using a defensive, macabre, or agility skill will unleash the captured souls on enemies. Defensive or macabre. So this should count. And this should count. Yeah, these two traits, these two groups here, any skill there should count. Oh, wait a minute. Corpse tendrils does that? Ah, no, it's not the tree. It's not the tree. It has to be the skill itself. Yeah. See, like around this area here, when the pop-up comes up, it says macabre. So this blood mist, it releases the souls because it's a macabre skill. But then we have bone prison would do it too. This wouldn't do it. Corpse explosion wouldn't do it. This one wouldn't do it, unfortunately. This one would. Bone spirit would. Okay, so yeah, there's it's starting to kind of be clearer now. Obviously these wouldn't. I mean, yeah, core would never do such a thing. Explosion wouldn't do it. So bone prison would. Surrounds the target area. And this unfortunately wouldn't. And then bone spirit would. This is unfortunate. I mean, I can't like give up this skill. It's very important. Curses are quite important, I guess. I mean, they both curses, they synergize well with this amplify damage. You deal 12% increased damage to cursed enemies. So if I give up a curse, then I would definitely have to remove these 3 points too. But do I want to give up, you know, a curse? The benefits that this Decrepify gives, for example, they are slowed, and they deal 20% less damage. This is quite good, especially for elites and bosses and stuff. I mean, 10% chance to get stunned. This is like quite meh in my opinion and my experience. Yeah, it's just meh and whatever. This one is much more impressive. Enemies hit while afflicted with Decrepify have a 15% chance to reduce the active cooldowns by 1 second. This is amazing. This is pretty much the main reason I took Decrepify. Yeah, I'm still thinking, you know, do I want to give up Decrepify, give up the slowing and the 20% less damage and the reduction of this 15% chance to reduce the active cooldowns to, for example, take this Bone Prison, which, you know, traps enemies, gives back essence. It's quite nice, I guess, the essence. And I guess I would go for, because I don't need vulnerability, I have it from the vampiric power, so I would go for the fortify. So that's like extra fortification, resource gain, and that's it. I don't know, it's difficult to justify this. So the other option, would be to give up one of these vampiric powers and take Metamorphosis, which is quite expensive. That's the problem. That's the main problem with this proposition. I mean, this is not possible, and this is not possible to sacrifice. This gives vulnerability, something quite important for many, for pretty much all classes and for many skills. So this is indispensable, and it's expensive. Activation cost is 6 points, and Blood Boil also mandatory for my build, because my build revolves around overpowering, and it's also expensive, 6. So that's it, 12 out of 20. You can only use or put here like 20 points, like basically a mix of 5 vampiric powers. The total points that they use would be 20. So that's 12 gone, and now I have 8 to play with. And so if I want to also take Metamorphosis, that would be 6, and then I would have only 2 points to play with. And this is Prey on the Weak. Yeah, this synergizes extremely well with this. So this Accursed Touch, it causes vulnerability, and then this one increases the damage to the vulnerable enemies, and the increase is insane. 16% is nothing to sneeze at. But then we have, then Hemomancy is a huge quality of life improvement for me. I love it. And Jagged Spikes synergizes with this. I am using Razer Plate to increase my thorns with this by this insane amount. So this synergizes very nicely with thorns. I mean, it's only a 10% chance, but you know, the 10% chance makes thorns, which is already high in my case because of this armor, this unique armor. It makes it deal even 300% multiplicative increased damage and chills enemies. It's insane. Like the synergy with at least that piece of armor is just insane. I don't know, but maybe I could, I guess, give them up for Metamorphosis, because that's what I would have to do. This is indispensable because of the synergy is just too strong with Accursed Touch. So as I said, I don't have any other way of causing vulnerability to enemies. And also it's not just about vulnerability. I keep saying vulnerability. It's not just vulnerability. Accursed Touch stores the souls, and the stored souls deal 200% increased damage, as you can see in the second paragraph. This skill is amazing. I love it. Like, especially as I said, when as soon as I use like a defensive skill, I can release these souls and just do insane damage. It's really nice, and this is just indispensable. So yeah, because of synergy with Accursed Touch, and this is indispensable for my build because of the overpower. So in a way, yeah, 6 and 6, 12, and then 2. That's it, 14. Now I have only 6 remaining, so if I want Metamorphosis, then I would have to basically use only 4 vampiric powers. So I would have to give up these 2. I guess I could do it, but yeah, I'd have to go out and this is why am I saying, you know, why is this, why do I care about this Metamorphosis? Because Metamorphosis gives me unstoppable with evade, and I have 4 evade charges, as you can see here, this number 4, so I can evade 4 times. So I basically can have unstoppable 4 times with Metamorphosis. This is why it would be very nice. Then I wouldn't have to use, you know, Blood Mist to escape crowd control if I need. If I get crowd controlled, I can just evade out of it, you know, to get rid of it, and then I can save Blood Mist only for releasing souls, like for extra damage, or for, you know, the needed, like when I needed immunity when I need. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna roll with 4 vampiric powers only, just to do this.
fight.
Take this, my friend. It's not much, but I hope it helps.
Be right back, guys.
I can break that down.
A good business and fortune to you.
forge is always hot. Gates still locked. Sentries at walls don't bother. Cave entrance here, here, and here. Tunnels must lead under the city. Not sure where they let out. Snakes here. And here, and here. Watch for snakes.
can break that down. old Zakarum church is supposed to be empty, but I heard bells tolling. They called to me, splitting open my dreams. A call that demanded an answer. I must release them. This holy place reeks of seawater and rot. Drown in it. There is no escape. It's hard to think when the ringing of those damn bells fills my head.
I can break the show. Well done.
finest jewels in Sanctuary.
Bright aura. Brighter soul.
Sentries at walls, don't bother. Cave entrance here, here, and here. Tunnels must lead under the city. Not sure where they led out. Snakes here, and here, and here. Watch for snakes.
Okay, guys, thank you for sticking with me. I'll end this stream here, and hopefully I'll see somebody tomorrow for another stream. It's probably gonna be mostly on my sorcerer tomorrow. I'll focus on my sorcerer and see, try to focus on him a bit and see like how different the performance is, generally speaking. I was hoping I would see the butcher more often, but I haven't seen the butcher today at all, I think. Yeah, but yeah, I like it when he shows up, even though he makes the run take longer, especially with certain classes. But I do want to sort of include the challenge of the butcher with whatever it is I'm doing. I'm still, despite me moving close to end game on some of my classes, I'm still actually experimenting in a way. I'm still comparing the performance of a few classes. I'm kind of I am starting to sort of forget about, or not completely forget about certain classes, but I am starting to kind of get a feel that certain classes are probably not gonna work out for me. Despite me really liking certain parts of them. For example, I think that the rogue is probably one of them, one of the ones that are probably not gonna work very well for me, just because and that's despite me liking the rogue style a lot. I love the whole vibe of it. I really like the rogue's combat style. I like the fast-paced also style of their combat. But the problem with the rogue is that despite me playing with those circling, the daggers that circle around my characters, so they attack all around them, they're still quite limited in how they can do AoE damage, like the AoE, the area of effect damage, or the multi-target damage is not limited in that sense. It's limited in range. That's the thing here. The range is very limited, and that's what I don't like. And that's like, it's not just me. I mean, I remember reading some of the guides about end game builds, especially on Wowhead and Icy Veins, and the folks there usually list the melee fighting style as a limitation. Like, when they try to give you a sort of a balanced view of every build and tell you, okay, what's good about this build, and the positives and the negatives, and they always put like melee, or being limited to melee, as one of the disadvantages, one of the weaknesses. And I agree. Like in a game like Diablo 4, I agree. I find that it's not about being melee. It's about the limited range. I find that when a character's frequent skills or spammable skills, if you will, are limited, are very limited in their range, this makes the combat like more sort of, what's the word here? Like clicky. Like there's too much clicking. Like yeah, I think that is sort of the word. You have to do a lot of clicking all over the screen, and the problem is without keyboard movement in this game. Without keyboard movement, you really desperately need to reduce the number of clicking, the amount of clicking that you do. Like, I'm not just saying, clicking as in just clicking in one spot. I'm talking about movement. It's not just clicking, it's the movement of the mouse and the clicking. Like, because you cannot move with the keyboard, you have to click to move. You're clicking to move. So you're clicking to move, and you're also clicking to attack. So if the enemies are all over the screen, like there are enemies here, and 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 you have to dodge, imagine, it's just so annoying. And I really can't believe Blizzard released this game without keyboard movement. I genuinely can't believe this, and I'm pretty sure, you know, whoever developed this game, you know, either they didn't play it for like a lot, like they didn't play it frequently enough, or like long enough to start feeling like, okay, you know, the mouse movement is not gonna work, or I don't know, they just took the easy, or the executives are trying to save money, so they're focusing on just the console, like even the interface. Look at this interface. This interface is like all it is a console interface in many ways. Like a lot of the things that you have to do. I don't know. Is there like even clicking and dragging? Like, can you? I mean, yeah, you can click and drag things, but I mean, there is. I mean, they did accommodate the PC use and the mouse and stuff, but there's just a lot of console design principles in the game, and a lot of the people on the PC, they say that even despite them being on the PC, they actually play with a what's the word? What's the gamepad? Yeah, they play with a gamepad. They get an Xbox gamepad or something, and they connect it to the PC, and they play with a gamepad. They play this game with a gamepad. That's because the movement and the targeting is quite a bit more comfortable, or significantly more comfortable with a gamepad than with the keyboard. So yeah, you know, having to click to move and also click all around you to target enemies is just super annoying, and it can actually cause repetitive strain injury, or RSI, on like in your mouse hand. Usually the right hand, of course, for most people. So yeah, I find because of this, because if your area of effect range is quite limited, and it's not as smooth. Like for example, the sorcerer, the what's it called? Ball lightning. The ball lightning meta build of the sorcerer is also quite limited. Like, or it's not like too limited, because there is chain lightning. There's chain lightning, and there are static, and this other thing, the electricity that you collect, and this has quite a good range. Like you have two attacks that have very decent range, and you also have the ice blades. Yeah, like the sorcerer isn't as limited as the rogue. Their range, their area of effect range isn't limited as the rogue. The rogue is very limited in the range. I'm talking about the range. The area of effect, like all around you, of the rogue is very limited. And this is why then you have to like start chasing enemies right and left. On the rogue, like you have to click a lot around you, and you have to keep chasing enemies like that and stuff if you want to get rid of them. So yeah, it can get very annoying. This Necromancer, you know, these two are quite long range, so in a way, despite me having to target, they still have this advantage. I like the advantage of being able to, you know, have range. The druid has the aspect that makes his like spammable attack quite long range. I think it's a very long range. If the druid is here, his attack can reach here. So even the druid has, with aspects, he has like a very decent range. And the sorcerer, as I said, he has ice blades. The ice blades can go and chase enemies for you. And then there's electric, there's chain lightning, and there's the other attack from the orbs, the electric orbs that he collects. Those have, you know, very decent range. So in a way, they don't have to chase enemies around as much as the rogue has. So yeah, the barbarian, even the barbarian has probably a bit, just slightly better range than the rogue. And the barbarian has also the option, at least, of course he has to sacrifice something to that, but he has the option of getting these chains. You can get like chains, and these chains can pull enemies toward you, so you can also gather enemies. So yeah, the rogue is quite limited, so in the area of effect range. So this is why I'm thinking of just forgetting about him. You know, just getting on the rogue, like if I feel like bored or some change of pace or something like this. But otherwise, I don't think I'm gonna play the rogue seriously, despite me loving the style of the combat of the rogue. But I also don't like this clicking around and their limited area of effect range. I'm gonna give like probably the druid another go, see like how he does with the butcher, because last time I met the butcher on my druid, he just took ages to kill the butcher. He took ages, even though he sometimes one shots elites. Like my druid can, like if he gets like lucky with an overpower, he can one shot an elite. Imagine this, one shotting an elite, but then standing in front of the butcher for, I don't know, 5 minutes or something to try to kill the butcher. It's so annoying. So I'm gonna see if I can find a solution for this or something. But yeah, I do want to give my druid another go. But otherwise, because of the range issue, I am playing, the least I'm thinking of playing is the rogue, and then also the barbarian. I quite like, you know, the style of the barbarian, but the thing is their range is quite also limited. If of course, except I mean, unless I change to I switch to the other build. But the best build is this Hota build, the Hammer of the Ancients build. This is currently like the best and meta build. But there is another meta build for, I can't remember now the name of it, but apparently it has very huge range. But that build is also the thing is, even like despite that build being meta, it's mainly meta for speed clearing, or like leveling and stuff like that, killing lots of enemies. But it's not as good as the Hota build for single target, like for bosses and stuff like that. So I'm very hesitant about switching from Hammer of the Ancients on my Barbarian. And if I don't switch from Hammer of the Ancients, then as I said, then the range isn't that great. The Barbarian's range isn't that great, even with the aspect, and even when you use the aspect for the Hammer of the Ancients. So yeah, so they're probably gonna play the Rogue and the Barbarian less and less because of this issue, because of the mix of limited range and the lack of user friendliness in this game. You know, it doesn't have the keyboard movement, so you know, having to move and attack with the mouse is just a nightmare. And this is why it's much like I'm leaning more and more toward classes that would have good range and also like a sort of a chill play style that doesn't require too much clicking and too much chasing enemies around. So yeah, and this is where the combination comes from. Having range, you know, allows me to not chase enemies right and left, and certain chill combat styles like the sorcerer, you just, you know, pop your lightning balls to rotate around you and you just walk around and zap enemies. It's kind of a chill fighting style, which is easy. It's going to be easier on my hands, and you know, I won't have to chase enemies around and stuff. So yeah, I'm leaning toward that. And the Necromancer with this build is, yeah, the range requires some clicking, but I really like the corpse tendrils. You know, being able to gather enemies around like getting a corpse tendrils from a corpse, and then the tendrils pull enemies around into one small area. So this allows me to reduce the amount of clicking around also. So this is another reason I like the Necromancer. This build, you know, he does very decent damage with it, and at the same time, you know, being able to gather enemies in one spot and just, you know, focus on that spot, you know, it's a very plus. It's a huge plus for me because it's comfort in this sense. I don't have to click here and click here and click here and click here too much. Of course, sometimes I have to because, you know, the corpse tendrils can't reach the enemies that are too far away, or it's on cooldown or whatever. So sometimes I have to click around. But you know, with corpse tendrils being available, it makes Necromancer a bit leaning toward that sort of chill play style that's, you know, I don't have to chase with my targeting. I don't have to make my targeting chase enemies around all over the screen. I can, you know, focus on certain directions, and that's pretty decent. But yeah, so that's basically it. That's why I'm focusing on my sorcerer and necromancer mainly nowadays, and I'm probably gonna give the druid another go and see how it goes with it. But so yeah, see you, inshallah, God willing, see you, some of you tomorrow, guys. And, as I said, it'll probably be sorcerer and maybe the druid. Until then, take care and stay safe. Peace.